I would like to welcome you and your family to make an appointment today for an eye exam. Even though the name has changed, we are still providing the same family-friendly eye care as Dr. Z. We are located at 8 North Main Street in Jewett City. You can also find Grizzled Eye Care on Facebook and send us a message. Don't forget that eye exams correlate to your whole body health too. It's not just new glasses and contacts. So come see me, Dr. Katina Simmons, at the all-new Grizzled Eye Care, formerly Dr. Zuckerbrand's. Hope to see you soon.
People say it all the time. I love to support local business. Look to a business that also supports the community in return. If you're looking for both of these qualifications, then Winton Automotive on North Main Street, Jewett City should be your choice for auto repair. Ken Winton is local but supports local teams all year long. From oil changes to engine repair, Winton Automotive can do it all. Find them on Facebook or go to a youth sporting event and you'll probably see Winton Automotive on somebody's jersey. Winton Automotive, North Main Street, Jewett City, proud sponsor of Wolverine Athletics.
You buy better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns.
You buy better. It burns. You buy better.
Let's face it, most of our expenses are on the rise, but your insurance doesn't have to be one of them. The Burns Agency can quote your home, auto, business insurance with any of our 30-plus top-rated insurance companies. Let's be sure you're getting the best available pricing with quality service from experienced staff. Call, email, or visit us online to see what the Burns Agency can do for you. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns.
You buy better. It burns. You buy better.
The go-to barber shop in Jewett City is Sharp Image on Main Street, located in the same location as the iconic Aramoni's Bakery. It's not a bakery anymore. Ruben and his staff will style you to perfection every time. Sharp Image is always running specials, plus some exclusive deals with some of the future barbers that Ruben is training today. He trains them. Find Sharp Image on Facebook or call 860-591-1177. Sharp Image Barbershop in the former Aramoni's Bakery. It's not a bakery anymore. A proud sponsor of Griswold High School Sports.
Your community radio, live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
What's up, Paul?
Wednesday.
But you're not grumpy.
Yeah. Wednesday, warm day.
You're not grumpy today, though.
No, it's Wednesday. Yeah.
It's all new to me. You're not grumpy.
No. It's Wednesday. That's why.
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. The mayflies are going to eat me up alive. But why be mad?
There are a lot of flies out there. I
Oh,
was
they're
just standing
out there.
outside waiting for you.
Oh,
this
they're
morning,
out.
and
They're
it's just
out there. Oh my God, they're out there now.
in my ears, up my nose.
Oh yeah, they've started.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, they've come out quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like last year. What happened? We went from winter to summer, just like that.
Mhm.
You know, and exactly what happened last year. I hope we're not going to have a real dry summer again. I mean, there's no rain in sight right now. Plus, the fire danger now is way up there.
Well, we had a fairly dry winter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we didn't have any snow. I mean, really to speak
Not
of.
really. No,
I think it was
not some rain, but not a lot of snow.
right, but
Yeah.
nothing to really speak of or anything.
There's a big forest fire going on in New Jersey right now. It's only 10% contained. It's already burned 2,500 acres.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and of course, it's threatening homes and businesses, of course. So you never very rarely hear about forest fires up this way.
Yeah.
Mostly they're down California and, the southern part of the country. Yeah.
So speaking of fires,
Yep.
we had a fire in Jewett City at Wirewind yesterday.
Yeah.
It
What
was-
actually burned, you know?
It was the building. It
It was part of the roof?
It was
I thought I saw
it
a
was the
picture.
roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was smoke coming out.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it.
Yeah.
and it actually, a lot of people convened.
There was a
You
lot.
know,
Yeah, they weren't going to take any
There-
chances. Yeah, that's
yeah.
a gigantic building. If that thing went up, and we've been fighting that thing for days.
yeah.
Yeah, smart what they did. You know,
Well, they had a bunch of. I know they had. Well, Jewett City was there. Lisbon was there. Moose Up came. Moose Up and Plainfield came.
I think Norwich was there too.
I didn't see them
I think
all. I
Norwich was
just-
there.
and I'll be honest with you, I don't do, because I had people go, "Hey, Mike, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And I went, I even get people instant messaging me, saying, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Look, no offense, but I honestly don't have the time, when a major news event is going on to go ahead and, individually message everybody. So I generally don't message anybody
Yeah. I
back.
thought I
And
heard.
it's not to be offensive, but it's like,
Yeah, I thought I heard a siren going off yesterday afternoon, but when I was outside. But
are you kidding me? There were sirens for
I know
days,
yeah,
man.
I know. But I didn't hear a lot of them. So,
One person told me they thought it was the apocalypse.
oh boy. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well.
So, but there were quite a few
Yeah.
stations that came out.
Yeah. I don't know.
It
if
was
that's-
knocked down fairly quick.
Yeah, must have been a wooden building, right? Is that what it is? I haven't never been there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wooden and brick again.
Yeah,
I would think,
Well,
but-
who the hell, with the heat,
But it wasn't that high
who the hell
yesterday.
knows? Nobody knows. I'm sure they'll figure out what started it.
I mean, if it was dry, that's one thing, but it
Yeah.
really wasn't very hot.
Yeah.
So-
Well, got up to high 70s, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah,
you
I
got
know.
that high.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, interesting to see. They'll figure out what started it, I'm sure. Yeah.
What or who?
Well, yeah, if it was set, they'll know. That's for sure. They can tell. So hopefully it wasn't set.
So you don't want to you don't want to point fingers.
No.
And especially when it comes to people under the age of 18.
Yeah.
However, there have been a group of kids, teenagers, that have been running around town. Started off with, just basic mischievousness,
Mhm.
like at Halloween and stuff. But it seems like it's really they've turned up the notch,
Yeah.
turned it up
Yeah.
to do other things. So 2 days ago, it was reported that the Jewett City Bandits were playing or vandalizing, I think was the word, at Wirewind, which was the place that was burning yesterday.
Gotcha.
And the state police were able to contain them by locking up their bikes.
Oh, that's right. I did see something. about
Yeah.
that.
So, matter of fact, let me see if I can find the story real, and I'll read it for you verbatim. What one of the Jewett City Burgesses, Lori Sorter, put. She did it on her own, or she did it on the borough page. Let me look here. Excuse me. You get these random sneezing fits out of nowhere. They just kind of show up. So let me see here. We'll get to some of the comments in a second. Let's see. All right, here it is. This is a day ago. Lori posted. Thank you to the Jewett City resident troopers who on April 7th were able to apprehend 3 juveniles vandalizing the former Wirewind property. The 3 juveniles were apprehended after their bikes were chained and locked.
That was a good idea on their part.
by Connecticut State Police, preventing a clean getaway.
Good idea.
Borough of Jewett City remains committed to the safety and security of our residents and properties.
Wow.
So, with that being said, apparently that those were the bandits that were there. Let's see. Good morning, Victoria. Hey, Kathy. Victoria says, hope it wasn't kids playing in there. Polino, what's going on? And Kathy says, it's really coincidental that the kids got busted vandalizing the place a few days ago and now a random fire.
Well, we're back on the street, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure these 13, 14-year-olds weren't detained.
No, they weren't. Probably just called their parents and said, hey, look, this is what your kids are doing. But again, stop making the parents pay for the damage they did.
I said about, and you and I have talked about this, and I know Kathy and I have talked about it too on here. My fear is one of these bandits gets real froggy and wants to turn it up a notch and keep raising the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to the point where something serious happens.
Yeah.
You know, not little petty stuff. I mean, this wasn't petty. I'm not saying that they had anything to do with this.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that right there, a fire, if it was set by somebody, is not a petty crime.
Yeah. I mean, what scares you when you say turning up a notch, I mean, look how many people walking down the street in New York City get attacked by a group of kids and they beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of people walking down the street, not only young people, but elderly people, and you don't need somebody beating them up, you know. The other thing, too, is how many, if they decide to go in and rob somebody's house, look in the news, how many bandits.
Apparently there was one of them that I guess almost or did try or almost tried to get into somebody's house.
Really?
They were caught on the Ring camera.
Oh.
You know, so.
Well, you know, today's people are armed. People are carrying guns today. And how many times have you heard on the news, not necessarily around here, where people have broken into people's houses and bang, they shoot them.
Yeah.
And they're dead. I mean, there's been some teenagers that have been shot. There've been teenagers shot trying to steal the catalytic converters. I mean, it's happening today because, you know, some people legally are
so somebody's got to get to, you know, these kids because I'm really worried it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe not somebody else, but maybe something's going to happen to them.
But, you know, we have unfortunately, our legislatures haven't done anything about punishing minors.
Or anybody.
Well, we're not as bad as some other states, but I mean, look at they were stealing cars. Look how many people got hurt with them stealing cars. There's nothing. We heard that, you know, they're going to do something. Have we heard any of them doing anything? I haven't heard any laws passed against on minors doing stuff, making it more tough on them for punishment. No, haven't heard a thing. So, you know, you get a slap on your hand, just go back outside and do it again.
Do you think kids today that do perform these petty little things, these petty little crimes, they're not worried about getting caught or anything like that because they pretty much know nothing's going to happen, so they're going to do it anyway?
Sure they are. Yeah, exactly.
Kathy says, and this is same thing you said before we even turned the microphones on this morning. She goes, that fire could have been real bad if it hadn't taken off.
Oh yeah, it would have been bad.
If it had taken off.
Yeah.
We say that could have been like another mill fire.
Exactly.
You know, that could have been bad.
Yeah, and somebody could have got hurt too. One of the respondents could have got hurt. How many times do you hear firefighters getting hurt because of a big place like that? I mean, that could have happened too. Then if it was set, whoever started it, then how would they feel?
Now I'm not saying, you know, these kids did this or anything like that.
I know, but we don't know how. I'm sure the fire marshal will be
right.
down
Right.
there checking it all out to find out. They'll determine what the cause was.
Yeah. So don't think that we're trying to peg it on these
No,
kids.
no. Just
anything.
because they were there doesn't mean they did anything.
Right. Exactly. However, it's kind of sus,
Yeah.
if you ask me. So
Yeah. I'm sure
Uh,
people are thinking the same thing.
Dave says we need the stand your ground law like they do in Texas. I'm not familiar with the stand.
I'm not familiar with the stand. Maybe it has to do. I'm not sure. Maybe he can expel on.
Or you could look it up, Paul, while you're twiddling your wires. I don't know.
like twiddling my wires.
And I got to replace the wires
No, you
because
don't.
you're.
It's the headphone.
Oh, it's your okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what the Castle Doctrine, and this is Connecticut.
Yeah.
The Castle Doctrine and stand your ground laws are affirmative defenses for individuals charged with criminal homicide. The Castle Doctrine is a common law doctrine stating that an individual has no duty to retreat when in his or her home or castle. Quote unquote castle. The
So-
Castle Doctrine is a common law doctrine that designates a person's abode and or in some states any place legally occupied, such as a car or place of work, as a place in which the person has certain protections and immunities and allows such a person in certain circumstances to attack an intruder instead of retreating. Typically, deadly force is considered justified homicide only in cases when the actor reasonably fears imminent peril or death or serious bodily harm to oneself or another. The doctrine is not a defined law that can be invoked, but is a set of principles which is incorporated in some form in the law of most states. 46 states, including Connecticut, have incorporated the Castle Doctrine into law. So David, I'm thinking maybe they did that.
Well,
Have you read that?
That
Have you
law's-
heard that? What I
law's
just said
probably
there.
been around a while.
Huh?
That's been around a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many people.
Yeah, we have that in Connecticut here, David.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure how many people would have the guts to shoot somebody anyway, even if they were armed. You know, it's quite a responsibility, and we don't have that in us.
I'm going to tell you something that this a lot of people in this town are not going to agree with.
Yeah.
And I don't. This has got nothing to do with anybody what their thoughts are or anything. However, I will say this. I just lost all my train of thought there. I really it's the second time today, boy.
Yeah. Dementia.
No. Now here it is. I had asked somebody because I do not own a firearm.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
I had thought about going through the course and everything, and then COVID hit, and then you couldn't do the course and whatever.
Yeah.
So then I talked to somebody
Mhm.
who is very familiar with guns, and somebody that I trust. And it's not don't think it's a grizzled resident either, because it's not. But this person told me, said, "Why do you want one?" And I said, "Well, for home protection." You know what this person told me? Get a bat.
Yeah.
And
I suppose.
And I said,
but
"Why?"
if somebody's pointing a gun at you.
I'm swinging for the gun, man. And
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, I hear you.
but this person said to me right out, you don't want to get into a situation where now you've killed somebody
Exactly.
and there's no quote unquote law to protect you.
Exactly.
100%. Now they're not saying that, it won't.
Right.
but it doesn't mean it will either.
Right.
Because there's always going to be that civil stuff.
Right.
Say, well, you didn't have to do that.
No, you're right.
They didn't have anything. They were eating Pop Rocks for crying out loud. They weren't doing anything.
No,
whatever.
you're right. You're right. That's why
So they say get a bat
Yeah.
and swing for the knees really hard.
That's true. Break out a couple of kneecaps.
Yeah. Or the hip,
Yep. Yeah, that'll knock them on the ground.
Exactly. And then once you do that, then, because if you do that, then they're probably going to drop whatever they have,
Oh, they would drop. Oh, absolutely.
kick it out of the way,
Yeah.
and threaten to hit him in the head.
No, you're right.
But it's
But like I say, even if you have a gun, I'm not sure how many people actually would shoot it. And the other problem you're taking too is if you have a gun, and then the
Yeah.
person gets the gun away from you, they're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
So
That's another thing that this person brought up to
so
me.
you got to be careful with that too. So, but I'm not sure how many people would actually turn around and shoot somebody. I think they would mostly be a scare tactic.
Yeah. Look at how many times people bring guns into a robbery or a burglary.
Yeah.
And half the time they're not even real guns.
Yeah.
They're facsimiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Story says I'm not bringing a bat to a gunfight.
No.
Someone has a gun. How are you going to get close enough for a bat to hit their knees?
Yeah.
Because they don't want the death penalty either.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
And usually they do it for intimidation.
It's hard to say because until you're in that situation and you got to make a fast decision, you don't know what you're going to do.
No, you don't.
So
No, you don't.
no.
And here's the other thing too. Somebody walks in and they're pointing a gun at you. Are you going to have time to react to go get your weapon to go ahead? No. There's another thing there too. Like you're talking home invasions,
Yeah.
There's unless you're sitting there with it in your lap,
Yeah.
there's really not a lot
Yeah. I've
you're gonna be able
also
to do.
I've also heard that if somebody comes in and then they hear the click of the shotgun, when you're clicking it, it makes a sound when you're cocking the shotgun. Kind of makes people think, oh man, this guy's got a shotgun, So, but I don't know. I hope I never get in that kind of a situation.
So get this. Now this is hilarious, and this is why I love doing this show.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn what people believe, and different things that they
Okay.
different hints, right?
Oh yeah.
At the same time, Court Kinney says a can of Hornet spray is accurate for 20 feet, more effective than a bat.
There you go.
Erica,
Yeah.
I mean, boom, pretty much simultaneously. Hornet spray to blind them shoots further than mace.
You're right. It's like 20 feet.
But I'm just saying, both of them at the same time said
That's
that.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
They'll burn like crazy. But then they'll be suing you because you blinded them.
Well, I think you got a lot easier chance defending yourself in a court of law.
Yeah. What'd you do? Well, I sprayed him with Hornet spray. You're right.
Yeah.
Any
judge will probably go, "Ha! You're lucky you didn't have a gun."
Yeah, right. What if you could fit a can of Hornet spray in a holster?
No. Dave says if you keep a bat in your car for protection, also keep a baseball glove with it. Your lawyer will thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Because if they catch you with a baseball, bat, now
that's
it's
a good
dangerous.
point.
Now it's a dangerous weapon. Yeah, especially if you get searched. Yeah. So
Assault style Hornet spray. And Daryl from the Healthy Computer.
what's he going to do? Throw a hard drive at him?
No, well, he might go get a massage next door. The Healthy Computer, School Street, Jewett City.
Yeah.
Call him today at 1-800-HARD-DRIVE.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that had to protect them? How many people do you know that actually had to protect their homes from an invasion? Not many, if any.
Not many. No. Not that it doesn't happen because we know it does.
Kathy says, unfortunately, I've been in that situation.
Oh.
So what's situated? Did you have to use hornet spray?
Wow. Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I do get concerned really about some of these young adults. That they want to raise the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate, but it takes all kinds, I guess. And there's always some that unfortunately are on the wrong side of the whatever.
Kathy, come on, you got to tell us the story. Hey, you could join us virtually and you could tell us the story.
Oh.
She's probably on a phone call.
Yeah, she probably doesn't want to tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, unfortunately, I did not have any hornet spray on hand.
There you go.
It's like I almost want to go buy hornet spray all of a sudden. Hornets are assholes.
They are.
There's what is the reason for a hornet? I mean, bees, okay, fine. They pollinate the earth.
I don't know.
They pollinate your food supply.
I know.
And really, if you see a bee, they don't want nothing to do with you. They may come close to you, nothing like that, but they don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, hornet bite the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Stay
They're not
stay-
nice.
no,
They're
no,
not. They're not.
nice. You stay away from them. You're right. Then you got the ones that bore a hole in your siding.
I mean, God. I mean, they're just, they're like coyotes. What's the use of a coyote?
Oh, I'm sure they eat dead stuff.
What kind of? Where do they fit in the ecosystem, for crying out
Well,
loud?
they keep it clean.
They're kind of useless.
No, they're not. They're doing something.
They're dirty dogs, man. I mean, you're trying to make a case for the coyotes.
Well, Acme Tools gets a lot of flies. I mean, he chases the Roadrunner around.
Well, that's a different coyote, dude.
That's a coyote.
Kathy said it was a stalker situation. Cops took care of him. But she ended up with her permit shortly after that, or immediately following that.
There's a lot of people you would never expect has a gun permit.
Mhm.
And I think it had to do with the legislature enforcing all these gun restrictions that it ticked so many people off. Because I think a lot of people, other than the situation she was in, would have never went and got a gun permit. Never, because there was no need for it. But I think now that the government wanted to restrict it more. Look what's happening with the ARs, because the government wants to restrict it. How many people are buying these things and just keeping them because the government wants to take them away from you? So, yeah. So,
do people own, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Do people own ARs because they can, or do they really feel that it's protection for them? Because ARs there's a lot of there are a lot of organizations that you don't need an AR, blah 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 blah. Is it almost like rebellion? Like I want an AR because people tell me I
think
can't.
a lot of people buy them because of rebellion. I think because the government says you can't own them. So I think a lot of people bought them because they wanted to be able to buy one and say they have one without the government's restricting them and taking it away from them. Joe Biden wants to take them all. He wants to take them away from people. Let them try that to see what happens.
So court says if hornets are of no purpose, then ticks and mosquitoes are worse. But then it's just possum food.
Yeah, possums eat that stuff. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Do they eat hornets? So that's the thing.
I don't think that many people eat hornets. I don't think that. I don't think that many less birds do. I would think if anybody's going to do it, it'd be a bird.
Because possums, they'll eat like what, thousands and thousands of ticks, a week.
Yeah, they eat that many stuff. Yeah, they're good. They're nobody should.
We even have a PSA about that.
Yeah, we should be. You shouldn't be bothering possums. They're good for your yard.
Oh, let's see. Are they? Is it up here?
Yeah, they're. We actually have 2 of them floating around our yard at night.
I'm gonna take a look here because I thought it was on the board.
Wow.
Played earlier. Let's see. No, because how did you do that? Did you use an AI generator?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, crap.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you'll find it eventually.
Huh?
Yeah, they're a good animal to have around.
let's go shooting and get a steak.
I don't think anybody wants to shoot possums and have a steak.
Kathy says they own the ARs because they can and because they are fun to bring to the range.
They are fun. Yeah. They are fun to bring to the range. Yeah.
And I find it, pretty cool that right now there are 3 ladies that are keeping up this conversation about the guns.
Don't
Kathy, Victoria, and Laura.
Don't be just because women don't think they don't own guns.
I'm not saying that.
I
like
know.
that.
I go to a lady hairdresser, and she packs the gun underneath her blouse.
Yeah.
Because sometimes she's in the business.
Who's that?
The woman I go get my hair cut.
Oh, okay.
She actually has a pistol underneath, hidden underneath her garments. That's there because a lot of times she's there by herself, but there's a pistol there, which I never knew until she told me.
Well, how would you know, Paul?
Yeah. So
Under her garments.
Yeah.
How would you know?
She told me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she told me.
Did she show you?
No.
She went,
No.
hey, Paul, look.
No.
What's that?
No.
It's a gun, Paul.
No.
No. Something else.
Never showed me. Just told me, and I believe her. But yeah, a lot of women own weapons. Even Ginny has a weapon. She has a permit, and she has a 22 pistol.
Dory says, I carry. I bet you didn't even notice when I came in. No, nor do I care. I mean, that's the thing is that there are a lot of people that do.
Yes.
And matter of fact, my former brother-in-law does.
Yeah.
And I never would have known it until he actually showed me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. See, like Victoria, you're not going to go, you're not bragging about it. You're talking to you, it's concealed, it's there for a reason, end of story. Same thing with Mark.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? Mark said to me, he goes, I don't want to be the guy that's in a movie theater, and somebody gets up and starts shooting and then nobody can protect anybody.
Right.
So
yeah, how many times have you heard stories where a shooter got up and then somebody that was part of the group they were shooting at had their own weapon, took them down?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't have any problems with people that own guns.
Yeah.
That's not what this conversation's about.
No.
This is not about me trying to say we should or should not.
Yeah,
do
but
this.
I think, like I said, I think more and more people have gotten permits now as a result of the state of Connecticut trying to do something to stop you from having guns, or putting all these gun control laws in.
Yep.
I don't get me wrong. I believe everybody should be checked out before you're able to purchase one. I don't have a problem with that at all. You don't give somebody a gun unless you check them out.
Here's a good thing that Court's a thinker, and he brings up really good points, things to think about. So, per your conversation, as an analogy, why do people buy muscle cars or any other car that can exceed the speed limit?
Because it's
Paul.
fun.
See, there you go. See,
Yeah,
you're a car guy,
Yeah, it's fun.
right? So, it's even even in your email address and how much you like cars.
It is.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing.
yeah, it's nothing like getting on the turnpike and being able to step on the gas and be up to 90 miles an hour while you're just getting on the turnpike.
Right,
What a
which
rush.
is illegal.
It's illegal.
Right.
It's a rush. but
So
not
Court
that I
makes a
drive
good
that-
point there.
Yeah. I mean, I won't drive down a highway at 90 miles an hour, but No.
You're still full of horseshit.
no, I don't. No.
Oh, that was last year.
No.
That was during COVID when nobody was on the road. I was just
No.
opening it up.
No.
Getting in the Chevelle.
That there, I wouldn't do high speed on that.
Really?
No, I wouldn't. The black one, I would.
The Audi?
No,
No.
the Dodge.
The Dodge. Oh, okay. The Charger.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's different.
So you have like what? 6 cars? 5?
Well, 5.
It's a Jay Leno of Jewett City.
Yeah, but they're not all muscle cars. They're just.
No, you have one from each genre. It almost
There's
seems
two,
like
there's
you got a truck.
two cars. Two cars.
You got a classic car in the Chevelle.
It
You got a luxury car in the Audi.
Yep.
Because it's not a sports sedan.
That's not
it's
a sport. No, it's an
all right.
SUV.
You've got the Charger.
Yep.
What am I missing here?
Challenger. It's a Challenger.
Oh, the Challenger.
Yep.
What am I missing? So I got 4.
Truck. And Ginny's got her car.
Okay. All right. So you have 4. I got it.
Yep.
All right. Good morning, Lori. She goes, so then the issue becomes, how do you distinguish between a good guy with a gun and a bad guy with a gun?
You can't. You don't know.
Education and training are imperative parts of owning or handling weapons.
Absolutely.
Spot on.
Absolutely. You do have to take a day of training to even attempt to get your permit.
Mm.
So.
Dave says, I love a woman packing heat, confident, independent, and badass.
Well, what did I read that?
David, I heard Match.com has matched you up with Barbarella.
Yeah, I think, isn't Florida now where you can get a gun without a permit? Get a gun without a permit? I think Florida just changed I thought it was Florida. You can go out and buy a handgun, carry it.
Erica says, he won't drive 90, but he'll merge onto the highway doing 90.
Yeah.
It's what you just said.
Yeah.
So what do? Get into the flow of traffic and slow down?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't want to get caught for
What's the
speeding.
sense of that? Oh, come on. Like they're not going to notice it on the on-ramp? Daryl's flexing his biceps and says, these are the only guns I need. I call them lightning and thunder. No need to conceal them either.
Unfortunately, not going to do him much good. Oh boy!
You coming? I can see Daryl now. You're coming to the show. The show? Yeah, the show. What show? The gun show, baby. that's his his pickup line now.
Bring your muscles.
But he's married, so he doesn't tell anybody.
Bring your muscles to a gunfight and see how far you last.
Bad guy is targeting and shooting everyone. Good guy is only targeting the bad guy. But I don't think you know that in the moment.
You wouldn't know that.
No.
No.
So it's kind of like roulette.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. Yep.
Victoria says, New Hampshire, you don't need a permit.
Yeah. I think Maine too up there. Those, because they're hunters. I think the hunters, it's a hunting thing up in the upper northern states. But I thought I saw Florida allows them to buy a gun without a permit. I thought that just happened.
I don't know.
I think it was Florida.
Are we going to just like spit stuff here? Or are we going to look it up?
No, I thought I heard it. Yeah. It's hard for me to look it up because it's without the computer. It makes it a lot easier on the computer than the phone.
Why? You just go to your phone and type it in a browser.
I know. Are you looking it up?
I wasn't, but I will.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was Florida that just did it. It was only recently. I think it was only in the last few months. I thought I saw something with Florida. Yeah, that you don't need a permit.
Yeah. 26 states that allow permitless concealed carry in the minimum age requirement. Alabama, as of January.
Yeah.
A lot of this is new. Oh, of course. I don't want to. Let's see here. All right. Alabama. Well, there's 26 states. I'm not going to mention all of them.
No.
But the ones around here, let's see. Maine.
Hunting state.
Permits recognized. See Maine reciprocity. I don't, whatever the hell that word is.
Yeah.
For details on PC-21.
Yeah.
New Hampshire has that law as of 18 years old.
Yeah.
See, Maine's 21. That's what they're doing. Vermont's 18. And she said New Hampshire, right? That's it. It's 18.
Yeah.
And there are some other states that you would think would be predominantly like hunting states.
Yeah.
Now you're right when you say Florida, but that doesn't take effect until July 1st of this year.
There you go. Yeah. Which is not that far away.
Florida and Alabama was January 1 of this year.
So why? I wonder what the reason was for them changing the law. You know,
I don't know.
I mean, Connecticut's so strict on gun laws.
Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina all require permits.
Yep. Yep.
And then there is permitless carry for residents only.
Really?
That's North Dakota.
That makes sense. That's
And Hawaii. No, not Hawaii. I'm sorry. Just North Dakota.
Oh.
But like the Bible Belt,
Yeah.
that's all permitless.
There you go. Yeah.
You need guns and Jesus. That's about it.
And figure it out how much do you hear shootings in that area? You don't. You know.
That brings up that old argument. Do people kill people or do guns kill people?
Yeah, people kill people. Yeah. You know.
Victoria, no, this is not what it means. You know, when she said, "How is it roulette?" Going back to a person, or nobody having it's that protection.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't comparing roulette to being in a movie theater.
No. Yeah. Connecticut's been a permit state for years. Yeah.
Daryl says Florida doesn't require a permit to purchase a firearm, nor is there a permit that exempts any person from the background check requirement.
Well, in order to purchase a handgun, you got to have a permit. Otherwise, you got to wait a certain amount of time.
In Connecticut.
Right. Yeah. Usually, when you get your permit, at the time you get a background check. At the time that they do the original background, the original permit, but it renews every 5 years, and I'm sure they don't do any background checks every 5 years on you.
So, like people that carry guns, I know of certain people that carry that you'd never know.
Yeah.
You'd absolutely never ever know.
No.
How do you feel about that?
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. Because those are the folks that seem to be I hate to say this, the more responsible.
More responsible.
You know what I mean? Because there's a certain reason they're carrying it and not for, any kind of nefarious actions.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about the sticker on the back of the car that says carry on?
That's just people being smart ass.
I believe law enforcement agencies ask you, they suggest you don't put that on your car because those are the people sometimes get targeted.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and and there's a lot of people carrying guns that don't have permits, and a lot of times, what people have to be extremely careful, and especially in today's world where tempers are short. Let's face it. It don't take much for somebody to flip off and get ticked off. You never know if the other party's going to shoot you. It's not like years ago when you holler at one person, you give them the bird, and bingo, away you go. Today, you don't know. You know, drive by and boom. How many times do you hear that? So, that person probably doesn't even have a permit. You can buy guns on the street.
Sure.
What do you think a lot of these young kids,
I wouldn't even know where to get.
a lot of kids in these young states are with a lot of the shootings that are happening in some of our bigger towns?
Yeah.
Where you think they're getting permits? Half of them are probably young. They can't even buy them, but they're buying them on the street. So yeah, so you never know. That's why you got to be extremely careful.
There was a sad situation in Florida 3 nights ago, where a gentleman was visiting a female friend
Mhm.
that he'd known since high school. And I guess she was feeling very unsafe because of another a relationship in her life.
Yeah.
So she knew he had guns and stuff. And although she had a permit,
Yeah.
but she didn't know how to operate
Oh.
a certain gun.
Oh.
So he suggested one to her, brought it to her, and he in the act of trying to describe the gun, it discharged and killed her.
Wow.
He see, those are unfortunate situations like that.
Yeah.
And now this is, by all accounts, even anything that I've read on this story, a responsible gun owner.
Right.
So accidents do happen.
They do happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He turned himself in.
Yep.
He said he drove around all night. He said he was worried, he didn't know what to do, and he said the best thing to do was to turn himself in.
Yeah.
So the charge, he was only held on a $10,000 bond because his story apparently checked out. I guess, and the DA was like, and I guess the most he will see is the maximum penalty is 3 years, and they don't even think he's going to get that because it was a complete mistake. It was an accident.
Yeah.
But they do happen. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I knew somebody that was cleaning their gun, and it went off. Shot the tip of their finger off. Went into the ceiling.
What, the bullet or the pit of the
No,
finger?
the bullet went into the ceiling.
Oh, okay, all right.
And the police came in and actually confiscated the guns. The person won't get the guns back for 2 years because of that. It was cleaning it, didn't realize there was a bullet in the chamber, and bingo. And they took it. He's 2 years, he can't have his guns back. So
Alec Baldwin.
Well, that's another.
That's a really.
That's a wacky situation there. Yeah. So, but now you're required if you have guns in the house, you're actually required to put them in a locked box.
Lockbox.
Yeah, because of kids.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a
Or
requirement.
irresponsible young adults.
Yeah. So I think that's something they just put into effect. I think the legislatures did. I think it's a law. I think it's named after somebody kid that had died via an accident like that. Yeah.
Kathy says, I personally feel better when we are out and about knowing Rich carries and we have a fighting chance if some idiot decides to go postal.
Sure. You don't know.
And it's sad we have to use a term postal. Because of what happened years ago.
Yeah. Postal was, years
So-
ago, a term years ago.
Yeah. So I get the whole thing about, I do totally understand, people that, that carry, and I have zero issue with that. I was in a grocery store one day, and we know that Connecticut's an open carry state.
Mhm.
There was a dude that had 2 6-shooters. I'm not kidding you.
It's like a Western style, huh?
Yeah, he had 2 6-shooters, one on the right hip, one on the left hip, and I'm like, I looked at Melissa and I went, "What's this dude trying to prove here? Why? Why do you have 2 guns like that? That I don't understand. that to me is a flex.
Yeah.
That's all that is to me.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody disagree about that? Okay, yeah, he's exercising his rights. He's flexing his rights, if you ask me. But I don't.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, he was a gentleman of a smaller stature. He did have, not to stereotype, but a Southern accent. I heard him talking not nicely to his wife.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, maybe
Walking around in the,
well, no,
in the produce
but you-
section, you got a couple of, you got Yosemite Sam standing there going, pa, 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 pa.
But you said he had a Southern accent.
Yeah.
So down south, they do carry like that. That's you could walk around with
I
a
think
gun
there's
hanging
a
off the
regional
side.
respect, man. I mean,
You could. I mean, maybe he was just used to it. I mean, that's just what he did all the time. So, I don't know what his reasoning was, but maybe where he came from, that's what they do. So,
to me, that just seems a little.
I mean, a little bit over the top, but carrying 2 guns in a freaking supermarket. But
what's the matter? I don't like the Brussels sprouts. I don't know. I don't understand why that would have to be.
Mm.
I couldn't think of any reason why I would have to walk around Aldi with a pair of 6-shooters on my hip.
I don't know.
Honestly.
Maybe he was playing cowboy.
Huh?
Did he have a cowboy hat on? Man.
I don't know.
Well,
I
hey,
don't know. I don't.
yeah.
But then again, I mean, if you're gonna flex, I guess go ahead and
Yeah,
flex.
well, some people that way.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't do it, and I'm sure you wouldn't either. But
if I ever carried, I would not. Nobody would know.
no,
Nobody would know.
No.
Because why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to, I mean, possibly make yourself a target?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Then again, is that what really the gun is for?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know, for example, that, my brother-in-law, Mark, it would be in his pocket.
Yeah.
And it was holstered.
Yeah.
And he did. He took it out and he showed it to me and stuff like that. And I had no clue.
Yeah.
It's like Victoria said, and I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I guess like Victoria and I, we've never talked about it.
Yeah.
So it never came up, but she sure as hell didn't say, hey, by the way.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a responsible gun owner.
Yeah. I know people who walk in Patchogue, Patchogue Forest, just to exercise, and guess what's in their pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who, Ginny?
No.
Oh,
No.
I bet she didn't even have a slingshot.
No, she has a 22
Does she really?
and has a and has a permit.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
See, things you don't know.
Yeah. She actually has a permit.
Kathy says maybe at Aldi's that is expected to have a couple of 6 guns. Maybe not Aldi, but Walmart. That's another story.
Maybe he was going for a turkey shoot.
I have seen people open carry at Walmart. And it's more and more common, so I guess it doesn't really shock me. But this dude I thought that was a little much. I don't know.
They were probably 357 Magnums,
I don't know. They were like, I just waiting for him to,
45s.
bang, 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 bang.
Oh man! Wow.
The line's too long here. Get another cashier. Bang, 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 bang. I don't know.
Well, like I said, it could be from. Excuse me. Oh wow!
You're right there, Paul.
Wow. Well, where we came from.
So what happens with becoming almost 80, man.
I know it's already 10 o'clock. I'm already falling asleep.
I said to Melissa last night, because I've been falling asleep on the couch a lot lately.
Yeah.
And last night about 7:30, I kind of slumped down on the couch a little bit. And I went, I'm assuming the position. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I'm starting to get tired. And she went, uh-oh. Now she goes to bed, at around that time anyway, because she's got to get up at 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, right? So there's a reason for that. Me, I said, is this a sign of being an old guy?
Could be.
She looked at me and went, "Yep." I went, "Great."
Yep.
1 foot in the grave and one on a banana peel.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's what happens to you.
Start falling asleep on the couch.
Can't fall asleep
I
on the
never fell asleep on the couch.
Well, that's because you're getting old.
I think I was phobic about it because my father would fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah, well, now you're a father. You're getting
No,
old.
but I'm talking about when he was younger.
Oh.
And my mother would get so ticked off. Tony, go to bed.
Well, the other thing too is after having a big meal for
Yeah.
dinner, you know, you got all those carbs in your stomach, and it kind of like makes you want to
Yeah.
nod off. I mean, look how many people actually have a pretty good lunch. And then they get back into work and they're sitting there going, "Ooh."
Oh, I've fallen asleep in my chair here.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So
I don't want to fall asleep in my chair because
you
when I
fall
fall, my hands are down, my arms are down like behind me like this. People walk in and think I'm dead. Mike, what? Rachel said, I fell asleep in my TikTok live last night. Rachel, we know. There's a screen capture too, by the way, with video. Just saying.
Yeah, that's
So
very
Rachel
easy.
is one of our friends that comes in to our We Love the 80s group on TikTok
Ah,
at
I
night,
got you.
right?
Got you.
And she's from northern part of North South Carolina.
Yeah.
Or South North Carolina. We don't know which one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got done with my stint on TikTok last night. You know what happens after that? Oh, I'm hungry. I need to get a snack.
Oh boy.
So last night's snack consisted of a ham sandwich, from the ham left over from Easter.
Gotcha.
So those are the best ham sandwiches right there, right? The bread kind of sucked. It was like, ugh. And then I had, I don't know, I just wanted, all right, I cut up a cucumber, I cut up a tomato, radishes, and a little green pepper, threw it in a bowl. No lettuce, just vegetables. Put a little balsamic on it.
Yeah.
I had that. I'm like, okay, now I've got a full freaking meal. So what did I do now? Well, I'm gonna have a can of peaches too.
Oh boy.
So I did. And a cup of fruit juice. So I'm sitting there and watching TV at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh boy. That's good for your stomach.
Oh yeah. But it knocked me out, I will tell you that. So anyway, I get a text. You'll never believe this. What? Screenshot. Our friend Rachel. It was totally dark. Couldn't see her.
Yeah.
Then I got a video.
Oh boy.
And all you heard, Rachel, I'm sorry, honey, but it was.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh. Rachel. First of all, all I said is, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah. Speaking of TikTok, man, with the Anheuser-Busch issue with the transgender guy that's taken over, man.
You mean their new CEO?
No, he's not a CEO. He's a marketing person.
Are you talking about the ad people?
the
The
ad
actor
campaign.
and or the actress, or
Yeah.
what do
No,
you say?
He's a guy dressed
Okay.
up like a female.
All right, so it's a female.
It's
It's a female.
it's a female, according to
According to
yeah.
this person is a female.
Yeah. So everybody now is
Because she's not dressing up for the commercial. This is how she actually presents
she's
herself.
presenting herself as a
Female.
And of course, they have the special cans for transgenders and stuff. But everybody now is doing these.
Dylan Mulvaney, Kathy says. Is that the person? Is that
Everybody
person's
now
name?
is doing these TikTok things where a guy will be drinking a beer, an Anheuser-Busch beer, and then he turns into a woman.
Okay, so now, all right. So here's the thing. Victoria, doubles back and says, Dylan Mulvaney is a dude. Okay. I don't know who Dylan Mulvaney is.
I don't know who he is either, but apparently they made him like a spokesperson for Bud Light or Bud
All right.
Beer.
But now, I mean, Kathy says biological male identifying and dressing up as a female. Now, is he doing this for the commercial, or is this what he or she does for? Is that how she identifies in real life?
I don't know. I would
See,
think.
I don't either.
I would think probably identifies in real life as a transgender.
Then this person is a she.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's a slap in the face to all women.
It's ma'am.
It's a slap in the face.
What?
All women. When a man, sometimes, it's not that I'm against it. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's a slap in the face to women. We talk about males. We talk about wearing blackface as being wrong.
Yeah.
What are these guys doing with woman face? I mean, how are the women taking it? It's woman face, right? It's the same as blackface. People got ticked off because you're affecting a certain culture. Now, because you're making yourself into a woman, is that an impact on women?
So now here's an interesting conversation that could get a little heated.
It could get
Not on
heated.
my end, but I mean,
Yeah.
Victoria says spot on, Paul. Rachel says Dylan is a transgender female all the time.
There you go.
But Victoria says he makes a mockery of women. He acts like a twit.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know who this person is.
I don't know who it is either, but I was kind of laughing at some of the. Apparently, Anheuser-Busch is actually losing a lot of money as a result of this. Some high-level country stars who have bars have actually throwing Bud out the window. They no longer want Bud as part of their tours because they were, advertisement for them. Threw them out. Yeah, so I think you're losing money because people are pouring. I mean, look at some of the things on TikTok. They're taking their cans and throwing them away and then getting Miller Lite. Yeah, so I don't know. I heard that the CEO of Bud quit. I don't know how true that is.
Kathy says he/she acts like a stereotypical dumb blonde, thinking it represents how women are.
I mean, I would think women would be upset over that. Especially when they're stereotyping a blonde. Everybody thinks because a woman's a blonde, she's dumb. That's not true. Color hair don't make anything difference. I mean, there was a lot of jokes years ago about, blondes being dumb, and that was all part of the culture back then. But I don't believe color of hair makes you smarter. Dumb.
Is this person, do we know, post-op or pre-op?
I don't think the person's done anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. So they are
I mean, he probably just,
biologically.
Yeah, he probably
male.
just took some hormones so he could grow some boobs. Think about it. That's about it.
Told you Paul wasn't grumpy today. He has had upper surgery, meaning, I guess.
Yeah, you do
Okay.
something like that. I mean, unfortunately, at my age, when I'm fat, they come natural. Yeah.
And here's something interesting. Rachel just said
Yeah.
he
He.
has had upper surgery, but then turned right around and said she has.
Oh,
So there's a difference,
well, no,
and-
because he.
on how people they identify, but how different people relate to how people identify.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I think that's more of a problem
Yeah.
than anything. It's like you have people that are out there. I don't care if you identify as a freaking turtle. I could care less. I really or a cat, the furries that are out there.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
I think it's the people that, like you and I, that are looking at these folks, and we're the ones that are like, do we accept it or not? I think that's where the problem comes in for society.
Yeah, transgenders have been around for a long time.
Absolutely.
They've been around for years.
As have, look at drag queens. They're now, all right, so drag queens for the most part are not gay.
No.
A lot of drag queens are not homosexual people.
Right.
But they're being banned in so many states.
Right.
Yet you can be transgender.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's a slap in the face. I think the biggest problem I find is that males converting to females and wanting to play in women's sports, to me, is
That's another thing.
that is something that bugs the hell out of me, because there can you imagine, and let's look at the last Final Four here, where we had some pretty good sized guys that were playing basketball. Can you imagine if one of those 6'6" guys,
About 6'9"? How about
and started playing?
how about the Yukon Center?
Started playing in the women's Final Four. Can you imagine how many women would be hurt? They just can't compete. It's impossible for them to even stand up to them. They'd be knocking them on their asses. I mean, let's face it. That's what's going to happen. I just think
The genetics are different.
yeah, and I think them, to me, what's to prevent a basketball player who can't make the NBA, right? But yet can make the WNBA. Is that fair to the women that are playing in the WNBA? No, it's not.
Kathy says he/she or this person is also a spokesperson for Nike sports bras, but has a male chest.
Yeah.
Victoria, this is
That's right. I did hear that, Nike. Yeah.
This is a good point, because I have no issue with trans people, but don't mock me. It's been done for attention and money.
Yep.
He used to be non-binary.
Right.
Okay. Which a male that doesn't identify or just doesn't
Right.
identify either way.
Right.
But didn't get enough followers and attention. So he upped his game.
Yeah. Where are all the feminists? Why aren't they crying about this? I mean,
I think they are. I think there
I
are.
don't hear anything about it going on. I don't hear any feminists complaining about guys acting like women and making them look like fools.
Rachel says, I'm fine with transgender and support them, but not to play sports. Could you imagine Shaq as a girl?
Right. Nothing says he could. I mean, by right, if he wanted to.
It wouldn't be Shaquille, it'd be Shaquilla.
How the hell would they how the hell would they find heels for his foot?
I don't know. They didn't get it specially made.
Yeah.
It was like Andre the Giant,
Yeah.
Fee, fi, fo,
Right.
fum.
I mean, it's those. I mean, and the government's pushing this crap, saying that they should be able to do that, and I just think it's not right.
Good
But-
point. Dennis Rodman tried it.
He did. Yeah.
Instead, he just wants to go to North Korea and play video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I always thought that was funny. Of all of the diplomats in this world, we send Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Well, he did dress up in a wedding dress.
He's done a lot of things, man.
Yeah,
He's done a lot of
Yeah,
things.
he's done a lot of things. Yeah. Well, that's Rodman. What are you going to do?
Self-promoter.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
Well,
lot of self-promoters. We got a lot of self-promoters, just in Eastern Connecticut.
Yeah.
You got it sometimes.
but the whole transgender thing could be a conversation in itself. But I just don't understand why a lot of women are standing up and saying, these guys are mocking us, making us look stupid.
I don't know.
And by the way, men can have babies now too. Now, according to everybody,
Technically, yeah.
they're saying men can have babies. And I wonder what the number of transitions between men going to women and women going to men. I wonder what the percentage
I don't know.
would be based on, the gender switch.
I will tell you this, and I'm not gonna say who or whatever.
Yeah.
I do know a person that transitioned from female to male, and honestly, this person is male through and through. There is no question.
Yep.
No question whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then again, this hasn't been done for any kind of financial gain. This is just how this person has really feels inside and identifies.
There are legitimate
Right.
people who feel that way. They were born that way. I don't think that at 10 years old you should be making a decision. I don't think people should be pushing them to that position. I think they should wait till they're older and then make that decision.
I think that it's been romanticized.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's
They're
cool.
pushing. That's the agenda right now, is to push the whole transgender thing. And it's, put it up front. It seems to be the topic of everything that we're doing now. It's,
Yes.
it's like, I don't know. Well,
Paul is now identifying as a bobcat.
well, you're doing pretty good, Michelle.
Thank you. I didn't say you were female.
No, I said you probably were.
Oh,
Originally Michelle, and now you're Mike.
Still Mike. I'm still Mike.
Because the players kept dribbling on it.
All right. That's going to wrap things up. Tomorrow, we have a really cool show lined up. We have a young man by the name of Franklin that's coming in.
That's right. You told me.
He's an autistic gentleman.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of stories about him.
Yep.
I think it was in the bulletin.
No, the bulletin had it.
Okay. And he goes over to the commuter parking lot.
On 85.
Over by where the hotel is.
The old 85.
Yeah. And he holds up signs and waves to the truckers. And, it's really, really cool. Now, Franklin doesn't speak very much, so his caseworker is going to come in with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it ought to be cool. It's funny because he's the son of I know his mom. I've known his mom since high school. So
yeah.
So that's going to be a really cool show. So Franklin will be on with us tomorrow morning, about 9:00. And the cool thing is that we're gonna get an idea who this guy is, how long he's been doing this, why it's special to him, and it's a cool story. So I hope you tune in for that tomorrow as we bring on Franklin. Next week, who we got? We got Mike Mish coming on. We're gonna talk mortgages and insurance. And a few others that are, well, let's just leave it at that. Not who you think. So anyway, have a good day, everyone. Paul, thank you very much for coming on by.
See you tomorrow. Oh, see you Friday.
Huh?
Friday, maybe. Right?
Friday, maybe? Yeah, we'll do Friday. Yeah. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at SNSN.
Life's been tough, and it's even tougher than ever to find a good therapist. But these days, all you hear is, sorry, we aren't accepting new patients. Next time, reach out to Life's Journey Counseling Services. They're located on Main Street, right in the middle of Jewett City, and they are accepting new patients right now. Individual, couples, family, and group counseling are all services available at